Dubai, welcome back to Lovin Daily. We're here at Wednesday morning. I'm with Chai and we're taking you through the top trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Today we'll be talking about the latest press updates about COVID-19 in the UAE. Friday, mosques, prayers will open on Fridays, which is big news. We'll also be talking about Dubai Fitness Challenge. We're big supporters. Also, later in the show, we have a very interesting interview with the founder of Lighthouse Arabia, who will be helping us break the taboos on mental health in the region, which I think is really interesting. But our first story will be about £5 Jumeirah. It is literally a buzz on Twitter. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone seems to be there. We want to talk about why British celebrities and celebrities all over the world are flocking there right now. If you have thoughts, let us know. We'd be interested in the comments. As always, I'll be checking the comments as we go through the live. But before we get into that, I want to let you know that today's show is brought to you by Fitbit. You are the official health and wellness partner of Dubai Fitness Challenge. Now, as we know, this is the last week of Dubai Fitness Challenge, so we want to make sure that you go and visit and check out their Fitbit 30 by 30 competition on Fitbit MENA Instagram account for a chance to win the Fitbit Charge 4. You could be a Fitbit Charge 4 winner. Very, very cool. Now, while Fitbit is the partner of this show, the opinions and statements are Lovin Dubai's. So we'll just jump into it. Why British celebrities, influencers, people are flocking to £5 Jumeirah. Basically, the hotel, absolutely stunning. I love the design of this place. If you've ever visited, you've probably seen it. If you visited the Palm in the last couple of weeks, or how long has it been there? I think years.
Yes.
Maybe 2.
3.
At an absolute guess. 3 years?
Yeah.
Used to have a different owner, now
It's not that old either.
It feels very new. It's
Yeah.
it's very modern, really, really cool. You've spotted it as you drive onto the Palm. And if you haven't seen it, if you haven't had the chance to visit, you've probably seen it on Instagram. And recently it's making headlines for a number of reasons. So we've talked about it on the show. First off was DJ Charlie Sloth, who has a residency there. He he reportedly, you know what I'm talking about. What did he do, Chai?
Baller.
Is it baller? No, maybe.
1 million dirhams?
He has a residency there, so he reportedly dropped $1 million on a bill in one night. Publicity stunt, possibly. So we've talked about it on the show over the last week, but now we want to talk about the fact that it's people are talking about £5 Jumeirah in the UK. I follow meme accounts in the UK, and people are like, since when are people, because basically people are coming on holidays here and they're staying there. And if you look now, Martin Garrix, I know he's not English, top international DJ, he's there right now, and he was just like chilling on his balcony. Looks like he's actually working on his balcony, so fair play to him. A lot of reality TV stars. So if you follow Geordie Shore, if you follow Love Island, they all seem to be on holidays there. Sam Gowland, Kaz Crowley, Ellie Brown. These are all names that if you follow reality shows over the last couple of years, and they're just kind of influencers, reality stars, Chloe Goodman, different types of personalities in that you might have spotted if you read the Daily Mail, which is like a Western media.
When are we going down there?
You want to go? We can go.
I was just asking, like, if everyone's down there, we should be down there too. We should do our live sessions from there.
We've done one for our birthday.
Yeah, I know. But like, we should be there among the crowd with Martin Garrix, do the live with you. Like,
I mean, we can ask him if he's not
morning,
busy.
drop the beat or something like that, you know?
I don't know. Well, what I think is we have our freedoms here in the UAE, and we're going to talk a little bit about COVID-19 updates, but of course other countries are gone into stricter lockdown. There's incredible precautions, safety precautions taking place across hotels in the UAE, so it's incredible that people feel that Dubai is a safe place to come. We don't have the answers to why they're here. I just wanted to make note that if you're seeing memes, tweets, whatever it might be, it just seems like a talk topic, like people are just flocking. Right.
Dubai has really maintained the standards when it comes to taking precautions of COVID-19.
So people feel like it's a safe place to come, which is amazing. And of course the weather is absolutely fantastic. I feel like there's a drop of rain coming at some point, but it hasn't broken. It's like the sky is like, it's coming.
It drizzled yesterday in the afternoon.
Did it?
Yeah, for like a really tiny bit.
Why was it not all over Instagram?
Because it was so little.
But there were some beautiful clouds that people are showing.
I think we know why they were clouds yesterday.
If you watched the show yesterday, you'll know that it was Chai's birthday, and he's saying that's why there were clouds. Why would there be clouds for your birthday?
I don't know, because I just love that weather. So the weather was gifting me the clouds.
I'm so glad you have that much of a positive mental attitude. I really am. Happy second birthday to Chai. We'll celebrate all weekend. You deserve it.
It's birthday week, right? So it's got to happen for the whole week.
100%. You have, because your birthday's on Wednesday, I think you get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
It was
Saturday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Till next week Monday. You can keep wishing me till next week Monday.
Okay, guys, if you want to wish Chai happy birthday, you can find him on Instagram, the accidental photographer. We would really appreciate that. Or you can just mention in the comments below, happy birthday, Chai. We love you. We'll move on. We're of course talking about Dubai Fitness Challenge. Now, the Fitbit experiences at Kite Beach, Dubai Fitness Village, are 100% worth a visit. We're on day 27 of Dubai Fitness Challenge. I don't know where the time has gone, and this is the last week, so if you have time, I recommend getting down there. There's so much happening. You can actually do a 30-minute outdoor trampoline workout at the Fitbit Rebounder, or visit the Fitband Experience Zone to try the 180-degree photo experience for your chance to win a Fitbit Charge 4. So not only are you getting down, getting your 30 minutes done, which is what Fitbit are really encouraging you to do for Dubai Fitness Challenge, you can also win a prize and take part in some really cool stuff. Like I said, Fitbit Charge 4. If you've been down there, first of all, you should register before you head in, so that's kind of like a top tip. We went down there as a team, and the setup for Fitbit at Kite Beach for Dubai Fitness Challenge is really, really cool. They're trampoline workouts. I'm kind of kicking myself I didn't do it because
Seems so fun though.
it looks very fun. It also looks like you'll get your 30 minutes, like it's a serious workout, right?
Oh, I think you'll get more than your 30 minutes of like.
As in, like you'll feel like you've
yeah.
done like 90 minutes, because it's like it's quite high intensity, I would say. But when you're there, you can also try the newly launched Fitbit smartwatches and trackers, including the Fitbit Sense. Now, this is the world's first EDA sensor on a smartwatch to help track and manage stress. And if you like the devices, you can even buy it right there and get really good deals and freebies when you're buying it. I think this is the month that I've never noticed so many people tracking steps, tracking their health, monitoring their sleep, being really aware.
Have you been tracking yours?
I was actually going to say I don't wear a watch, but I bought one in the sales. But no, I've never. But I'm encouraged to. It's like I saw the Dubai ride last week, and now I'm encouraged to take part in the Dubai run. So I registered for the run.
What's that? What's that? Friday.
Friday.
Oh yeah, is it the virtual run?
Yes, it's the virtual run, so you can.
Are you running
choose your
5K?
distance. I imagine I'll run 5K.
So in one spot we just run.
No, you can choose. So the city is our track. This is Dubai Run. Register in Dubai Fitness Challenge right now. The city is our track, so you can choose your pace, choose your distance, choose your time. Just do it on Friday. Share your videos with us at Lovin Dubai, and that's Dubai Run for Dubai Fitness Challenge. But also, if you're interested, if you haven't been down to Kite Beach or any of the Dubai Fitness villages, I really recommend getting down. The Fitbit Rebounder experience is there until Saturday. And then it's the end for this year with our Dubai Fitness Challenge. So it's really sad. We're going to say farewell soon. But if you have the time, I really recommend getting down there. Book your place in advance. Try all the cool stuff. Check out the fun watches that are.
Try the trampoline.
Try the trampoline class. Try the 180-degree photo experience. A lot of cool stuff
What
happening.
is that? I want to know. Just take photos of you.
You'll probably get like a really cool.
Oh, I was wondering, is there like an exercise attached to it or something? Oh, just a
I
photo.
don't think so. I think it's just. I think there's like different levels of what you can do. So you can work out. You can try the products. Then you can get like really cool photos and memento to take home. It's all part of it. Yeah.
And the beach.
If you go to Kite Beach and take a photo, did you go?
Yeah, we did.
I don't
Together.
think that's much.
And then we ate nice food
And we went
afterwards.
to Salt,
Yeah.
which I would also recommend. Moving on, before we get to our break, I want to let you know big news. Friday prayers at Mosques will reopen from Friday. So as you know, Tuesday is press briefing media day, and the key takeaway is mosques will reopen, but there will be strict guidelines, as you can probably imagine. So this is an exceptional step achieved through studies conducted by the institutions of the UAE. So just note, it's incredible that mosques have reopened. There will be strict guidelines, and we'll run through them very, very briefly. If you want to get them, you can check NSEMA on Twitter to get the full update. We'll also have this update on Lovin Dubai very, very shortly. So the procedures for mosques to be eligible to receive worshippers include reducing capacity to 30%. Take note of that. Allowing prayers in the outdoor courtyards and broadcasting the prayer over the loudspeaker. Safe distance of 2 meters between worshippers, and exit and entry movements will be regulated. Also for Friday for Friday prayers, please note, mosques will be allowed to open their doors 30 minutes before prayer start, close them 30 minutes after, and the duration of prayers, Friday prayers, will not exceed 10 minutes. So take note of that. We'd also like to emphasise that worshippers will read from their own personal Quran on smart devices, and also you're advised to download UAE health apps. Ablution must be performed at home, and senior citizens, children, and those with chronic diseases, anyone suffering from weak immunity should perform their prayers at home, so also take note of that. Mosques and churches in industrial areas will continue to be closed. So that is the latest on that. Also, a tiny update related to COVID-19. This is something I saw that I thought was interesting. The Dubai municipality has released information regarding rules and regulations for dining out at restaurants, and the number of people permitted at a table is 8. So take note of that if you're planning to book a dinner. And also, for people that are questioning, it doesn't necessarily need to be with your family. So you are actually allowed to dine with people outside of your family as long as it's at a table of 8. There should be 2 meters between tables. However, if a restaurant puts isolators between tables, that distance can be shortened. So those are the latest COVID-19 updates. Thank you so much. Join us after the break. Really cool. We're joined by Dr. Saliha Afridi, who's the founder of the Lighthouse Arabia, and she's going to hopefully help us break taboos regarding men's mental health awareness in the region. So join us very, very shortly. Lovin Extra is here. This is the new membership, and while absolutely nothing changes for our readers, extra members get access to premium content, exclusive competitions, and first look for tickets and access to the coolest events across the city, and Lovin merch. If you subscribe right now, a very cool Lovin Red Eco Water bottle will be delivered to your... Back to the Lovin Daily. Right now on Zoom, we're joined by the founder of Lighthouse Arabia. It's Dr. Saliha Afridi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Casey.
Not at all. I think it's a really interesting time to have you on. It's Movember. I'm seeing a lot of mustaches running around town. But for people who don't know, can you give us a little bit of background about what Lighthouse Arabia is and what you do?
Sure. So the Lighthouse Arabia is a mental health and wellness center in Suqeim, Dubai. And we've been around for almost a decade, and we are one of the largest mental health services in the UAE, but also the region. And we have lots of different community initiatives, and that's really at the heart of who we are, is the support groups that we do. We are the largest house of support groups in the region, with 17 different support groups running for the community that are free of charge. So I think our soul actually is with the community service agendas that we have that include parenting as well as support groups.
Incredible. It's really fantastic what you're doing. I've heard Lighthouse Arabia, it comes up in a lot of community chats. I know that people kind of reach out to you. But today I want to particularly focus on men's mental health. At the moment, I kind of mentioned I've seen a lot of people sporting mustaches. It's Movember. And I want to kind of talk about taboos in the region, because I think that sometimes people don't talk about addressing men's mental health enough. And do you think there's a taboo on men's mental health in the region?
So absolutely, there is. So just for people who don't know, the Movember movement actually is about men's mental health, as well as just men's cancer awareness. And so it's just men's health, but they involved mental health as part of that. Yeah. And I absolutely think that there is a taboo, there is a stigma, but not just in the region. I think it is a global phenomena. And just to highlight why I believe that is actually in the UK, for men 45 years and older, suicide is the #1 leading cause of death, above all other issues, including heart disease and liver issues. It is actually taking their own life. And so mental illnesses, mental health issues are actually undiagnosed. And I think in the region or in the world, we are struggling with issues of patriarchy and toxic masculinity. And when we think of patriarchy, we think of usually men against women, right? Like women are fighting against patriarchy. And we've had a lot of movements as women to fight up against patriarchy. However, men are actually just as bound by those patriarchal rules and, asks, I would say, for generations and generations, where, you are a man if you procreate, you produce, you protect, and you stay in your power by denying your vulnerability and you deny your emotions. So Men have not had any movements on that. And so men are actually very much bound by these strict laws of toxic masculinity and patriarchy just as much as women are.
100%. And it's a really, really shocking statistic. And if we just, repeat that suicide is the highest killer of men over 45, it's scary, and and then you're kind of taking that on. Where do you start? Do you start top down and look at kind of society as a whole and how you can fix it, or do you try and, you said you're involved in community initiatives, do you kind of try and speak to the one person who you might be able to help? How do you begin?
So I think you come at it from every angle, and just like any movement, it starts on the ground, it starts from higher up, it starts with legislation, it starts with different initiatives. And I think we have to come at it from all around, because depression and anxiety are the leading cause of disability worldwide, and that includes men and women. However, depression and anxiety is most often women show up as being more depressed and anxious. However, men are showing up as more antisocial, and their rates of substance abuse are a whole lot higher. So it's almost a little bit more accepted for men to be aggressive. Aggressive is okay, but sad is not okay. Being violent is okay, but showing your vulnerability is not okay. So I think we have to come at it from messages from media. We have to come at it from the corporate sector and some of the corporate cultures that we create. We have to come at it from legislation when we think about, and this is something that changed recently, but paternity leave and how important that might be. So that changed a little bit, but we change it a little bit more. And I think it's coming at it from every which angle. But it is something that, and I being a sort of feminist in my ways, I always usually used to fight for women's rights. But as I got older and I worked with a lot of men, I realized that there was actually no one speaking up for them. Mm-hmm. And I found myself to be just a fighter for men in some sense. And so I think men have a hard time talking about this issue. And when men do talk about this issue, they're a little bit dismissed. Like, no, you don't get to talk about your feelings because we're fighting as women. And so this is where I took on the initiative to say, you know what, I'll talk on their behalf, because I see that they're hurting and no one is seeing that and no one is talking about it.
100%. And this is kind of what I was hoping to get from this conversation, because I'd love to use our platform to maybe speak to the one individual who might be listening who could kind of, find some help. So I'm just wondering, for one person who is struggling, who is inside their head, who is anxious, what are the very real steps that they can take? If they're scared to talk to their friend, if they're scared to talk to their family, how can they try and help to improve their mental health?
So I think the first thing is just get educated. You need to know the signs and symptoms of some of the major disorders. The major ones that I would say you need to just be versed on are depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Like these three, you should just know what that looks like. Now, we do mental health first aid at the Lighthouse, and you would be really shocked as to how many people didn't know that they were depressed for so many years. They just thought that that's just how life was. And this is how things are. And so first, becoming aware of the signs and symptoms. Second, I would also say, be aware of how you might be actually using these microaggressions to perpetuate the stigma and invalidate your personal experience as well as the experience of other men. So I'm not saying that this is a man versus woman issue. Sometimes the worst enemy for man's feelings is the man himself and his, this alpha male bravado. Oh, come on, man, toughen up, look on the bright side, and this toxic positivity that goes along with toxic masculinity. So I would say, listen to yourself and pay attention. What do you do when feelings come up? How uncomfortable are you? And I think it does take a level of emotional competence. So that would be my number 3. You need to become competent, just like you are competent at jobs, just like you're competent in a language, you're competent in driving and other skills. The emotional world requires competence. You need to have an emotional vocabulary. You need to know how to regulate your emotions. You need to know how to communicate those emotions. So emotional competence is going to be very important. And then lastly, I think speaking up. Now, I know there's a movement, and I'm not sure who started it, but it says it's okay not to be okay. And I think it's okay not to be okay, but it is not okay to not be okay for too long. So you can't be okay forever. Like it's not normal for you to not be okay for a long time. And so this is where it will take courage for you to step up and speak to someone and say, you know what, we need to take the drama out of talking to a psychologist. I have a therapist, all my children have a therapist. Even there's no drama in this. Like the best players in the world have coaches. And those coaches are not those champions, right? The champions have a coach. And so we need to just see it like that. We need to be able to see that you are just accepting some support from someone who might have a different viewpoint than you because you're in the field. So you're just getting a zoomed out view. So those would be the 4 things that I would say.
And I agree with you 100%. I've spoken to someone in the past, and I just found, like you said, a different viewpoint really gives you a different perspective on things. But I have a personal situation that I was involved in recently where someone told me that they had, that they had issues with their mental health. They were struggling. And although I'm aware of men's mental health and that we need to break a taboo, I wasn't actually sure how to help him. I wasn't sure I can speak to him, but I wasn't actually sure how to approach it. So if a friend reaches out to you, if you're not qualified, what is the best approach to help them?
So I mentioned mental health first aid. Now, 1 out of 4 people in your life and in my life are going to come and they're going to say they're struggling with something, or they're going to be struggling with it silently. If I told you 1 out of 4 people is going to drop down and you're going to need to do CPR on this person, would you go get physical first aid? Yeah, you would. You would say, I need to be ready to do CPR because at any one point, someone could drop down and I have to, resuscitate them in some way. And so I'm telling you that 1 out of 4 people today are struggling with a mental health problem. And we are not trained to deal with that. We're not trained to identify that. And we're not trained to have those conversations in a sensitive way. What do we end up doing, Casey? We end up saying, come on, at least you have a job, or at least your parents are alive, or at least you're married. And we say all of these weird things that actually don't have anything to do with that person's situation. And that actually just says, dismiss your feelings and look on the positive side. And that's just not right. That is what the definition of toxic positivity. So what I would really advise people, and especially if you're one of those people that people come and talk to just because you're a safe person, there's something safe about you, get trained in mental health first aid. And that's a course that we run. It's a 10-hour course at the Lighthouse Arabia. We do it on a monthly basis. We do it for parents, we do it for adults, and we do it for teens. This is a no-brainer and a must-have, I think, in the world that we live in today.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Before we leave you, that's invaluable information for people struggling and for people who want to help, maybe friends and family that they have that are struggling. And you mentioned one course that you're running at Lighthouse Arabia. Can you tell us just a brief summary of every other kind of initiative you have going on at the moment, if people kind of want to reach out to you?
Sure. So like I said, we have one-on-one therapy for everyone across the age range. We have mental health first aid. We have grief support and grief consultations that we do free of charge. So if you've lost someone to death, you can actually call the Lighthouse and we will do a free one-on-one session with you just to orient you and what that journey might look like and what to expect. But then we also have grief support groups for motherless daughters, little lifetimes, adult general grief support. And then we have all sorts of different support groups that we run for teens, for university students, for single parents, for divorced individuals. for racial, Black individuals who've experienced racism, infertility, job loss. I mean, I could go on and on. So I would really recommend that people go onto our website and actually look at those, because we have a updated calendar we post at the first of every month. We also have free webinars that we do for the community, and we would be very happy to have to come to people's companies. And right now we're doing that over Zoom. But we talk about well-being, we talk about brain health, and we talk about stress management and anxiety management and these types of topics, free of charge, led by an expert. And all of our support groups are actually led by psychologists. So that is a very therapeutic environment. Usually when you think about support groups, they're usually community-led, but we actually lead the support group as a senior psychologist leading them. And another thing that I would like to, maybe people would want to access is we have different workshops that we run at the Lighthouse, and those are usually low cost. And the workshop could be anxiety management, stress management, as well as meditation and mindfulness. And we are very, very active on social media. So my personal social media account, Dr. Saliha Afridi, as well as the Lighthouse, we have four different accounts for parents, young people, as well as the Lighthouse Arabia.
Amazing. What you're doing is absolutely fantastic. I hope some people will take from this that they can reach out to you guys at any time if they're struggling, and really well done. And hopefully you'll be able to maybe follow Lighthouse Arabia's journey a little bit more in future. But thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining our show today.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you for having me.
Not at all. Guys, that is it for the Lovin Daily. We're back with you every single weekday morning. Stay safe, wash your hands. We'll see you tomorrow.